Welcome back to another episode of Northwoods Whitetails Podcast. I'm sitting here in my home with my wife. Hi, Maggie.
Hi.
That's when you're supposed to say hi.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay. So, Maggie made short work of deer season this year. Do you want to tell everybody what kind of your
Tell 'em about my
perspective,
deer?
of what happened? Yeah.
Sure. So, Saturday morning, Isaac and I got up in the woods at, I think we're in the woods at like 5:15, hiking up to our spot. And
you know this spot very well.
I know this spot very well.
This is where we always go.
Yep.
For
I've gotten a
opening
deer out
weekend.
of there 3 years ago. Isaac got one out 4 years ago.
Yep.
Together. This is kind of our place where we go.
Yep.
We get in our stand. We're sitting there for a couple minutes.
Oh, wait, before we got in the stand.
Before we got in the stand, Isaac had to fix the tree stand because it looked like it was going to fall out of the tree.
And before that, there was a deer.
Oh,
remember?
yeah. When we were walking up in, there was a deer that we jumped.
Right next to the stand.
Right there. Just, it was sleeping.
Yep.
And so then we got up in the stand. Isaac had to put another ratchet strap around it.
Yeah, so so it's an old ladder, it's an old ladder stand that's been there for like 20 years. It's like a double person ladder stand that my buddy Ben, he put up there. Yeah, like literally it was probably, I don't know, 2005 or something. And it's been there forever, and it's like rickety, and it's like in this old cedar, and it is just, I think every year we go to sit it the first weekend, I bring a new ratchet strap with me to like throw around the top and just hope that it just holds. But anyways, go ahead.
It's certainly been scary since we've been hunting out of it.
Mm-hmm.
But so we're sitting there for a couple minutes, then we see some deer run by over the bank. We couldn't see horns, but it looked like they were running.
It looked like
from something.
Yeah, it looked like a buck was pushing a doe up the hill.
Yes.
To me.
Yes. So we sat there and we're hoping they'd come back around, and then about 20 minutes later we hear a shot, like 500 yards from us. So Isaac goes, "Well," what did you say?
I was like, that could have been our opportunity because it was right in line with us.
You don't know. You go, "Well, that's the sound of a missed opportunity."
Yep, exactly. Well, because he was right. He was the next property up, right on the same ridge. And I found out 2 days ago that was the older guy
shooting at.
He got that 7-pointer, that pieball.
No.
Yep, he got him.
Oh my gosh! Wow,
And
he was right there.
Yeah, he's like 400 yards up the ridge, and he got that.
He
buck.
was right there.
So we had this nice 7-pointer on camera, and he was pieball. He was really cool. He was like probably 18 inches wide or something. He's a really cool deer. We had one picture of him last year. And also, where we're hunting is my family's property, just to kind of set the scene a little bit. So go ahead.
Okay, so we're sitting there for another 20 minutes, and I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, oh, my hands are getting cold. You know, I've been here for 30 minutes now, so it's getting a little bit...
It's getting serious.
It's getting serious. It's getting late in the day.
And we were planning on sitting...
Right. We had a whole pack of food in the backpack.
We were going dark to dark.
Sandwiches, gummies, M&Ms, all of it. It was all there. I'm sitting there, and I'm thinking to myself, oh, I'd really like to just see a deer. That would be kind of cool. And then next thing I know, there's a deer walking in. It was a doe, but you could tell she was in heat. And so we're watching her, and I think she winded us because she was looking in our direction.
She got kind of parallel with us, and the wind was coming out of the west, but she was a little to the north of us, but she got a piece of us for sure. She winded us a little, but she didn't like fully know where we were, I don't think. But when she got parallel with us on the ridge, she started to stomp. And she knew something was up.
Yeah.
But, so go ahead.
We watched her for about 5 minutes, and we just could tell there was going to be another deer.
I know. I really thought there was a buck
We knew it.
coming.
We knew it. Like, it was, I don't know.
The way she was acting.
Yeah, we both just knew it. Next thing you know, I see another deer coming in, and I'm like, Izaak, there's another deer. And he's coming down coming down like a little, I don't know, steeper
like
hill.
a ledge.
Yeah. And I saw the size of the body, and I was like, ooh, it's a big one. And then I saw the beam of his antler, and I decided that he wasn't going to take many more steps.
Yep.
So he came into a small little opening, and I shot him.
Yep, you did.
And then I'm not that great with my bolt action, and I slowly jacked another shell in and then shot him again. And then he stood there for 30 seconds or so, and I'm like screaming at Izaak. I'm like, I don't know if I hit him. I'm like screaming, and Isaac's like, Did you put it on him? And I'm like, shoot him again.
I'm holding a camera.
Right, and he shoves the camera in my hands, and then the deer kind of bounds away a little bit. So I'm like, I always get super, super nervous after I shoot.
Yeah.
I wonder, I'm like, did I take a
him?
good shot? This was definitely a brushy shot.
Oh, yeah.
But, I mean, I took the shot that I had, and I just know in the past, if you don't take the shot, you're going to lose the deer.
Lose your opportunity.
Your husband's going to push you out of the way and shoot it himself. So I was not letting that happen.
Yep. And I will say it was an impressive shot, because when I was like, I'm like, Maggie, whenever you get a bang and you shot, I could not believe you shot through the wall of crap you shot through. But when you pulled the trigger, his tail never came up. He bolted right down off the bank. And then when he got down at the bank, he kind of stopped, and he kind of picked his head up, and he was kind of like doing one of those things. And I like kind of his head was going back and forth, and you were freaking out. And I was having a little bit of fun with you. I kind of told you after the fact. I knew he was hit hard, and you were like, "Oh my God, did I get him?" And I'm like, "I don't know, Maggie. Did you get him? Did you put it on him? You know?" And because you were freaking out, but it was just part of the fun at that point. And but anyways, you can continue.
So Izaak got down off the stand, and he was like, I'm going to go look for blood. So I just sat up there with all this stuff, and I can see him down there looking around, and, you know, he's not, like, looking at me like, yeah, I see blood or anything. He just, like, disappears over the hill. I'm like, okay, so I'm freaking out. I'm scared. I'm shaking. All the emotions. And then I was just like, that's it. I'm going to call Izaak. So I called him, and I was like, well, is there any blood? And he's like, yeah, there's a lot of blood. I'm like, okay. He's like, but it's kind of going uphill and drying out. And I'm like, okay. And he's like, well, just hold on. Okay. So I hung up the phone, texted my dad, told him what was going on. As soon as I put my phone down, I hear bang, bang, bang. And I instantly grabbed my stuff, and I was like, well, I think he's dead now. Yeah. And so I get a call from Izaak, and he said
the dogs are fighting in my living room right now.
He said the deer is dead.
Yeah.
So we were super happy. I got all of the stuff, got down off the ladder stand, wished it well for the rest of the year.
We're going to do a new one this summer there.
Right.
We're going to do something nice.
We need to, because this one is not nice.
No, we're going to do something nice there, because it's a really awesome spot for the first weekend.
Yeah.
We always do well there. We should put something up nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
yeah,
so
that's it.
Yep. So
and my sister got a really big buck on Saturday, too.
Yeah, on your dad's property.
They're like, the deer are like twins, but they're not. They're not related at all, but...
Yours was a 10-pointer.
Yep.
Weighed 175.
Yeah.
And
Girls.
the beagle and the golden retriever are going nuts. Hey, quit it. They got the zoomies this morning. So your buck was 10 points, 175, and your sister's deer was a beautiful 8-pointer. And that one weighed, what did it weigh?
179.
179. Yep. That is
So-
awesome. And then your grandfather
Yeah.
got a 8-pointer that weighed
164. Yep.
and your cousin Jeb
Got a.
got a 9-pointer, I thought.
I think it was a 6.
6?
I think so.
Okay. Well, all nice deer. And what did his weigh?
150 something.
150 something. Wow. For that one family on opening day.
Yeah. I know, pretty crazy.
I think it was a really, really good rut day.
Yeah, I think so.
really, really, truly believe that things were coming unglued. So our neighbor, he was just down below where we were on the property that he hunts, and he heard us shoot or whatever, and I messaged him because the deer actually died down over his property line a little bit. So I texted him. I was like, "Hey, Maggie just got one, and can we go get it or whatever?" And he's like, "Yeah, go ahead." He's like, "I'm gonna come up and help. I'm just down over the bank." I was like, "Sweet." And so he came up, and I don't know where I was going with this. I don't know where I was going with this. But anyways, he helped. He helped us drag it out, and I know where I was going with this. So he helped drag it out down off, and his truck was parked down below where you got him. If he didn't help us, we would have had to drag it up over the bank, which would have really sucked. And so he was a big help. But so we loaded the deer up, and we were headed back to our house, and right by our house, there was a spike horn running down the road with its tongue hanging out, just flopping around, running all stupid. I just think that was opening day in this area. They were just going crazy. They were chasing does. They were just flying around, doing all sorts of stuff. But thank you to Josh Allen. He was a huge help with your deer. And he didn't have to do that.
No.
He gave up his
hunting morning completely.
Yeah, his first morning, he pretty much gave it up to help us, which was really nice. But yeah, so, and I'll kind of talk a little bit about how my Vermont season's been so far. That next day, I did an all-day adventure down in a spot that I like to hunt, and I jumped one out of a cut, literally almost stepped on him. Jumped him out, grunted. He stopped at 50 yards when he was running, and he stood there for a half an hour, and he actually came back to 25, 30 yards and kind of walked by me on the edge of the cut, but I couldn't see him because it was so thick in the cut. So I'm assuming that was probably a buck, but I don't know what it was. So that happened, and then yesterday would have been the 14th. We got some snow. So I took the day off from work, and I did 12.4 miles, and I never cut a single track. So that was a tough day. That's the second time I've done that 12-plus mile day and not cut a track. I did it once in the Adirondacks probably 5-6 years ago. It's a little demoralizing. I don't know if it was because the deer hadn't moved yet or if I was just in the totally wrong area. I don't know if the bucks have does locked down right now or what the deal is, but I couldn't even cut a doe track. So I'm back to the drawing board. So hopefully we get some more snow next week. I don't really have a whole lot lined up in Vermont. I'd like to probably get back over to New Hampshire, do some hunting over there, maybe get some snow over there and go back over. I ended up missing a pretty good one the second Saturday of New Hampshire muzzleloader. I was still hunting my way up these ledges, kind of. It was this mountain, and it was real steep, and I was just kind of coming into a little bit of buck sign here and there. I was working my way up through these ledges, and I heard something off to my left, and I looked, and this big buck got up out of his bed and started taking off up over the hill. So I took a shot at him, but swing and a miss. So, and I don't know if I've talked about it on the podcast. I don't think I have, but I got a 7-pointer with my bow October 8th in New Hampshire. So that was good. He weighed 173. I was really happy with that.
Oh yeah, and your dad got a bear on Saturday.
Yeah, and your dad got
No, your dad.
My dad got a bear about 5 minutes after you shot your buck. So that was cool. So it's been a great season.
And you got a bear.
Yeah, I got a bear September 3rd, I believe. So yeah, it's been a great year. Just I'd like to get a big one now. I hate to be.
You're due.
I'm due.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I know. It's hard. The hunting the places that I go, there's not a lot of deer. And yesterday I did the 12 miles or whatever, and I didn't cut a track. The area that I've been really keyed in on this year, the snow was very minimal, and it was gone by probably 11 a.m. So I ended up going to a spot that I've hunted a lot in the past that's north a ways, like, probably 20 miles north or whatever. And I just couldn't find a deer track to save my life up there. But there's always snow up in that country, so I end up hunting it a lot just because there's always snow. But, man, I just could not find a deer to track. But it happens. It does. It does. I just got to keep going. I enjoyed the day yesterday, even though I didn't cut a track. Got a lot of good exercise. It was humbling. Usually I can get on a buck track every day. Something.
Well, there wasn't much snow.
No, but it doesn't matter. They still make tracks in an inch of snow.
Yeah.
It's just, usually I can get on something like a 160-pound track or a 150-pound track, something. Late in the day
They're all bunkered down.
That, or there's like a pocket of beech nuts somewhere, and they're
gotta find those beech nuts.
Easier said than done, Maggie. Yeah, I know. It is something. A lot of years, especially the first, I did 2 big swings, and the first swing that I did, I've never not done that swing and not cut a buck track, which is just kind of strange to me. I cut 4 sets of bear tracks, and I don't know if it was the same bear that was just zigzagging his way up and around the mountain, but it could have been. But it's just strange. Strange. Either that or all the deer are low. That could be. Because I was kind of kicking myself too. I was like, man, because the swing that I do, I go up on the ridge, and I'm just below the spruce line, and I cut across this entire basin just below the spruce line. And it's kind of the elevation that I've tracked a lot of bucks at. So I always make that swing right there and then kind of drop down off on a finger. And I was kind of kicking myself. I was like, man, maybe I should have went up on top of the mountain. Maybe they were up in the spruce. But usually they're not. Usually they're just down below this time of year, it seems like. And but a guy that my buddy knows, actually, he went up over that mountain yesterday, and he only saw one little track that was snowed in on top. So I'm assuming probably a small buck. So I think lack of feed for 2 years in a row in the mountains is probably pushing them down, pushing them low into the valleys, into the towns, and I'm sure they're probably eating grass. They're in the swamps. So this year, I think it's going to be another swamp year for hunting. Got to key on swamps, got to key on where they got feed, and yeah. Or find a pocket of beech nuts somewhere. I think if you can find a pocket of them somewhere, I think you could really be in business. But yeah, so this was a season update, and I'll be back in about 2 weeks for another one. hopefully I'll have a big buck story. And so the plan is I'm going to, every other Wednesday, I'm going to do a season update until the end of the season, and then we'll kind of go back into the interview style podcasts. It's just during hunting season, it's just too much to do the podcasts when, I got a million things going on right now. So, especially with deer season. So, we're just going to do the season updates, quick little 20, 30-minute updates. And, I hope you guys all get biggest bucks of your lives. So, yeah, good luck out there, and see you on the next one, boys.